In addition to his professional career, Mr. Pradhan has started an NGO called Anavi, which he started in 2009 in Kolkata and now operates in 7 cities across India. The NGO is now supported by Anglo-Eastern, and the workforce are the wives of the officers and staff of Anglo-Eastern. The Naval Connection proudly presents Mr. Manish Pradhan as a guest of honor speaker at the FSM 2003. An IAS officer of 1984 batch, Maharashtra cadre, Dr. Malini V. Shankar is the former Director General of Shipping and is currently the Vice Chancellor of the Indian Maritime University. She is an honorary member of the Board of Directors of the World Maritime University, having been nominated by the Director General IMO. She is also a member of the government-appointed Board of Directors of the IL and FS Group of companies. Dr. Shankar obtained her doctoral degree in Institutional Economics from the Indian Institution of Technology, Madras, India, and Management degree from the Asian Institute of Management, Manila, Philippines. She was selected in 2020 as one of the 7 global recipients of the AAA award by the Asian Institute of Management, Manila. She is the first Indian woman to receive the award. Dr. Malini Shankar is an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer. She also held a private pilot's license from the Madras Flying Club. Shri Amitabh Kumar holds an MBA degree from Southern Cross University, Australia, Advanced Management from Maxwell School of Public Policy, USA, and Leadership and Change Management from Wharton Business School, USA. He has recently been conferred degree of Doctorate of Management by Amit University, Chennai. He has held several key positions in the Government of India, including that of the recently held position as the DG Shipping India. Presently, he holds the position of Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax in his parent career, CBDT. He is credited with launching several taxpayer-friendly initiatives, including Tax Return Preparer Scheme, TRPS, that involved online training to unemployed graduates to enable them to prepare tax and TDS returns, and Taxpayers Launch to showcase all taxpayer services under one roof, which has been awarded for 7 consecutive years by the ITPO. His contribution to public service has been recognized almost every year since 2007 by CBDT, Government of India. He has received 3 Finance Minister commendations on the 150th year of income tax in 2012, the highest by any IRS officer. He is also a recipient of G-Files Governance Award 2014 for exceptional contribution in public service. During his time as DG Shipping, his management of COVID-19, including safe repatriation and crew change of more than 200,000 seafarers, has been greatly appreciated and acknowledged by the international community, including the Nautical Institute and International Transport Federation. The Naval Connection is proud to host Shri Amitabh Kumar as the guest of honor at the FSM 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Amitabh Kumar just called to say that he will be here in 15 minutes from now. So he will join us. Master mariner by profession, having 17 years of sailing experience at sea, basically tanker vessels. 2 years as senior management in logistics services to oil and gas. Entrepreneur and CEO of V2 Group of companies for the last 9 years. Lead auditor for ISM, ISO audits and ship surveys. Pursuing maritime law from London Metropolitan University. Joint Secretary, National Advisory Committee to AOS India, Stella Marie. Executive Member, Stella Marie Centenary Year. Presently, the Member of Legislative Assembly Goa for the Benaulim constituency and India's first Master Mariner to be elected as MLA. Honored in the coffee book Lasting Legacies Virasat Ke Prerna Sor, which was published on National Maritime Day 2022 as part of the Azad Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Benzi Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud and honored to welcome Captain Benzi Vegas to the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have our distinguished guests of honor on stage. Please let's hear a round of applause to welcome them all formally before they address us. To begin with our address, I would like to call upon Mr. Saurabh Dave, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Ganpat University, to address us.
Thank you for calling upon the stage. Good afternoon, everyone. It's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to be among this elite group of people, honorable distinguished guests on the dais, and my colleagues. I represent Ganpat University as a capacity of Pro Vice Chancellor, and I have been assigned also a special duty to set up another campus, Ganpat University, Goa. And that's another commitment of Ganpat University into the maritime studies. Friends, we are learning and we are hungry. Our commitment to the maritime study is second to none, and that we have already proven in the last decade. Many of the known faces I have seen here who have been to the university. So my first humble request is to please make a point to visit us in Gujarat. We are a 350 acres campus, 5-star university rated by government of Gujarat. There are only 4 universities which are private university and 5-star rated, and we are among them. We are the only university situated in rural area and imparting educations and uplifting this society through the education. Our commitment has given us an horizon. Now we have all the states representation in our university. That's also another level of a commitment Ganpat University is giving to the country. We are a responsible university, and we wanted to give a responsible citizen and particularly a cadets to the maritime industry. Our commitment shows through our dedicated staff, the feedback from our recruiters, and the kind of an infrastructure we have already been established in the university campus. Though we being a landlocked, we have set up a full-fledged working ship on campus. Many of you have visited, and that gives a 24/7 access to the students who really wants to have a hands-on exposure. We have honorable dignitaries with us. Amitabh Kumar Saab, namaskar. So our commitment to the maritime studies is visible. We have started with BTech in maritime studies, and now we have all the programs where the industry is looking forward. We are committed to not only give them an education, but we are also imparting value systems into the cadets. We are imparting ethics and its practices. We are also ensuring they are not only skilled, but they are physically and mentally fit. We have an infrastructure which handhold them and make them industry ready. Our commitment with the standards are getting improved day by day. And that's what we can fairly feel when our recruiter keeps coming to us and sharing us, helping us, and hand-holding us to the next level of skill building through the academia. We are a university, particularly the maritime studies program. We have been graded A1 accreditation since inception, and we have been able to retain that now, and our commitment is to retain it forever. Through this commitment, we are now moving ahead, and now we are into the we are now coming closer to the coastal area, trying to establish our identity among the seafarers community within the state of Goa. We have got a great support from the state of Goa and handholding us, and we see that with our value systems, the kind of a team we are bringing, we'll be able to produce the extraordinary cadets for the industry. That's our commitment. Apart from that, we will be also entering into a new horizon. We're exploring the new maritime skills, which is now the next level of requirement. We are now into the era of technology. So we are handholding our cadets to become a technology savvy, adaptive. They are also getting some extra classes in terms of audit courses, which allows them to have an access of the technology, 5G, artificial intelligence, machine learning, those kind of an extraordinary courses they are also taking through when they are studying the maritime education. So we want to all round them. While we have been honored with the 5 stars, we have also started 5 different Atmanirbhar courses for our cadets. We are now teaching them a cooking skills. We are teaching them a life safety skills. We are teaching them the hobbies which they really wanted to carry on the ship, so that they don't enter into the silos. They remain enthusiasm. Their enthusiasm is high. They are committed to the company's vision and mission. That's what the kind of an all-round cadets we wanted to build through our commitment. Recently, we have got a IDSA associated membership, and now we are entering into the deep sea diving program. We are seeing state of Goa as our destination for deep sea diving. And soon we'll be producing the skill set required by the industry in the areas of deep sea diving. Together with the help of state of Goa, we are now committed, and we will be building a lot of new opportunities for the maritime industries. We are on the other side, we are also making appeal to each member present here that it is an equal responsibility of industry to handhold the academia. We really, being this a fast-changing industry in terms of rules, regulations, and cross-border collaboration, we really need your support. Your guidance will really going to help us in a way that we'll be able to produce the right maritime candidates you are looking forward to recruit from our side. With this a commitment, I thank you for patient listening to us, and we are looking forward to have a one-to-one interaction. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dave, for sharing those insights with us. To move forward, I would like to call upon Captain Tushar Pradhan to share his thoughts with us today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, former DG sir, and the delegates, and to all my folks, the associates from the maritime fraternity. I would like to thank Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, the founder and CEO of the Naval Connection, for inviting me for this FSM 2023. As a General Secretary of the Maritime Union of India, I get this opportunity to travel, meet people, meet seafarers, their families, discuss the issues, and we take it down to see how we can solve it in a better way. If we don't have the solutions, then we aren't here. We always try to find solutions. We never give up. That's the prima facie of us. Talking about the future skills, we need to have this. Without this concepts, and we cannot move ahead. The industry requires these skills, the youth that is coming along now. And as seniors, it is our obligation to hold the hands of the youth, take them along, and guide them for the future. I won't say take much time. I would like to thank Shaukat and his team at FSM and wish them every success in future. And we would like to support. We are their partners and we like to participate in every programs of them to ensure it is always helpful for the seafarers and for the maritime industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain Tushar Pradhan, for sharing those insights with us. Our next speaker, I would like to call upon Mr. Captain Sankalp Shukla to share his thoughts with us.
Dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon. I have been involved with this event, I don't know for how many years, I think ever since it started. And every year we see there is very, very positive interaction that takes place. And we discuss what are the future skill requirements that are coming up, what our seafarers need to take up, what the institutes need to focus upon. Now is the time that we need to focus even more as to what the future requirements are going to be, considering that we are talking about different kind of fuels, different kind of engines. We are talking about SIRE 2.0 being rolled out shortly, and the more and more training that is required for our seafarers. How are we going to proceed with that? I would not take much time over here. I think it'll be a healthy discussion. It needs to be interactive. And we've got expert speakers over here. And I think we all will go back slightly more intelligent than what we came in here. So thank you very much. I thank Shaukat and his team for organizing this and inviting us over here. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Sankalp Shukla, for sharing those thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got word that our esteemed chief guest has arrived on our site. We will just wait for our Honorable Chief Minister of Goa to enter before we move on to our next esteemed guest of honor. He's just about to enter the premises. We are taking about a minute or two as he walks in over here. Esteemed members and guests. Yes, we're waiting for sir. Yeah, okay, we can continue. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I have got word that we can move ahead. So we will call upon Shri Amitabh Kumarji to share his thoughts with us. And thank you for joining us here today, sir. Please come ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais. I don't know why Shaukat invited me here, but now that he has given me this opportunity, I think I should utilize it to the maximum possible extent. Future skill requirement is being discussed in the industry for quite some time now, but we are as much in the dark as we were perhaps last year. We all know IMO is discussing some drastic changes in almost all its conventions. STCW convention will most probably be rewritten. A lot of discussion is happening in MSC, MEPC, legal committee, as well as in the council and assembly. What we see for certain is introduction of new fuel. What we see is introduction of new types of engines. What we see is introduction of new type of navigational equipment. What we see is introduction of more and more digitization, digitalization, both on the ships and on the shore side. There is a demand for just-in-time port call, which means that the ports as well as the ships have to be fully prepared for ship-to-shore interaction without any human intervention. There is also simultaneous talk going on about improving certain soft skills of the seafarers. A lot has been discussed about the mental strain that the seafaring profession is now putting on seafarers. The welfare of seafarers is being discussed in detail. And everywhere, shortage of skills in terms of seafaring as a profession is being discussed. The gaps are being identified, which needs to be plugged. I am not sure whether all this can be done by training institutes themselves, or all the information that a seafarer needs can be imparted to them at the beginning of their career itself. A lot of training will have to happen, a lot of learning will have to happen while the seafarer progresses in his career. More and more jobs are likely to shift from ship to shore as we move towards digitization, as we move towards digitalization, and as we move towards autonomy. How will this seafarer shift from ship to shore is another area which we need to discuss, because that is what future skill would be all about. When we move towards digitalization, there is a common enemy that everyone would face, whether it is the shore side or the ship, and that is cyber attack. How will the shore side cope with cyber attack? And if the shore side fails, how will the ship side protect itself from cyber attack? I think that is one skill which will be required by the seafarers of the future, and not so much in future. The problem that we face today is that the seafarers are being trained who would be in this profession for next 10 to 15 or to 20 years. Are we providing enough skill to the seafarers so that they cope in this industry for next 20 years? If not, then what can be done immediately so that at least they would be in a position to upgrade their skills that would be required in 20 years' time from now? And that is where we have discussed in the past that the limitations of training need to be transcended through imparting of knowledge. The training has to be substituted with knowledge to the extent that at least the seafarers would be in a position to upgrade their skills as and when the need arises. Thank you very much for calling me here, and I would be very keenly watching the proceedings in the next 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shri Amitabhji, for sharing all your thoughts with us today. Okay, then, Captain Shaukat, I would like you to come up on stage and greet all our guests of honors with our mementos as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaukat Mukherjee. We will proceed to the traditional lighting of the lamp as soon as our Honorable Chief Minister arrives. Until then, we are proceeding with the agenda as sought. We request Kushi and also Anjali to be on sidelines. Of course, sure.
So while we wait for distribution of the mementos, so I would like to welcome the sponsors without which we couldn't have done the event. So in any event, it's the support of engagement of the sponsors. So a big round of applause to Ganpati University. And we just before this event, we had an interview of Dada, which went viral also. And then we had an interview of Mahendra, Dr. Mahendra Sharma also. So thank you. They've been with us from the inception of this event. And thank you, Ganpat, for coming and joining us. Like I said, we have a B2B session right after this session, so you can ask questions and they will let us know what kind of investment they are bringing into Goa. One by one, thank you. Sankalp said he was, Captain Sankalp said he was a part of this. I cannot think of an event without the support from Sankalp and Bernard Schulte. Sankalp, thank you so much. And any event, he's not only in his own rights, he's the MD of the crew management of Bernard Schulte. He's also the chairman of FOSMA, an association which I am personally very close to. So thank you, BSM, for supporting FSM. Elegant, Deepak Puria could not make it, and Elegant has always been also a part of for FSM. So a big round of applause to Elegant, one of the largest manpower employers in the maritime industry. Masa, Captain Halbe is here. Thank you, sir. Masa has always been, I regard Captain Halbe as one of my gurus, my mentors. Whenever I have a problem, he says, don't think it's a problem, and half the problem is solved. So thank you, sir, for being a mentor. IMTC and Captain Chinnaraju is here. IMTC is the training arm of Williamson. Williamson also is here. Captain Kunal, thank you, Captain Kunal, for engaging yourself with FSM. Good to have you here. Dynacom, Captain Mohan Naik, a stalwart in the industry. There is nothing possible that nothing which can be done, which cannot be done by Captain Naik. So, and lastly, and lately, quite lately, he's been in the news for helping a seafarer, stranded. So thank you very much for your mentorship and engaging with FSM. C-SPAN, Manoj Gandhi and Dinesh Jairam, both are very dear and both are here in person. And thank you, Dinesh Jairam and Manoj Gandhi, for being part of FSM. A very big name in the maritime circle, C-SPAN. Marlow Navigation, Wilson, when I went to Wilson, he said, if you're in Goa, I'm there with you. Partly because he has a house here. But yeah, Wilson has always been a very, very supportive person, and he heads the Marlow Navigation India. So Wilson, thank you very much for supporting FSM. MMSI, Dr. Bhavdani has fallen a bit sick, so he's not available right now. But Dr. Bhavdani is, being itself that he's a doctor, being a chief engineer itself shows the huge amount of education that he has. So I would like to thank MMSI for their undying support towards FSM. A big round of applause. Then we have Thom. Arun Mehta is here, and he's, words cannot describe what he is, and people who have engaged with him knows what he is. And he's like, yeah, kya bol raha hai? So thank you, Captain Arun Mehta, for your engagement. I have interacted very, very closely with him, and he has a very, very sharp eye for details, and he gets into things, And so thank you for being part of FSM. Then we have Best Marine. You have a stall outside. Best Marine are into working here. They've always been a part of whatever we do in their own ways. So Best Marine Amin is here. Sadab is here, and his brother. Sadab, thank you very much for being a part of FSM. IMI, Captain Saurabh Vasne has come all the way from Delhi. Captain Vasne is also a prolific leader, a very change maker, a die-hard fan of training and educator himself. Captain Saurabh Vasne, thank you very much for being a part of FSM. Then we have Carco. Pravesh Diwan is here, and I couldn't say everybody knows about Carco. You just have to say Carco. How many of you know what's the full form of Carco? And not Pravesh Diwan. You can't answer. How many of you know the full form of Carco? No, not people who know. So Carco, not people who know him personally. I mean, because Carco itself is such a big name now, people resonate Carco. So it's Karishma Consultancy. I didn't know that myself unless I read your. So thank you, Carco, for being part of FSM. And then we have IRI, Captain Sanjay Maini. I can't see him. Has he arrived? No, he's not here. But thank you, IRI, Marshall Islands flag. And he's always been a very, very, big name in our industry for a very long time. Thank you. And if I'm not forgetting anybody else, so this is Adani. Thank you, Adani. And again, Neeraj Bansal is caught up in the port duties. We know when people on the ground are caught up in things that they do well. And but thank you, Adani is a very big name. And thank you for their engagement. Thank you now to our golden partners. Firstly, I would like to thank Ritu. And when I first contacted Ritu, she heard what we had to say and she says, okay, we are in. And we are in under golden partner Emerald. And thank you, Ritu, for engaging with Emerald. You will see her expertise in one of the speeches that she will give. And she's a part of a very, very interesting session today, later during the day. Thank you to Maritime Union of India, sir. You've always supported us and engaged. And you are right in front where there were seafarers issues and problems. So thank you. Thank you, MUI. Please come. Okay, so I will just go out and receive the CM and then I'll be back.
While Captain Betsy Vegas and Captain Shaukat Mukherjee welcome our distinguished chief guest into the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take a little break before we have everybody. Thank you, our distinguished guests. Actually, you can continue to please remain on the dais. We will have our traditional lighting of the lamp with all of you. There is one more seat coming. Yes, Amitabhji, yes. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen, stalwarts in the industry. I'm honored to be a part of this room. It really feels so leader-like to be among all different leaders seated here in this room. It's really nice to be here. If I haven't had a chance to introduce myself, I am Delise Dias, your host for the next 24 hours that you will see of me. And if there's anything that you would like to tell me, I'll be your friend. So I'll lend you a lending ear. These are a few hiccups that we do see in time and as distance as we all travel through our beautiful state of Goa. So I know that we are waiting, but it's waiting with a lot of enthusiasm, really. I'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have amongst us our esteemed chief guest, the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Shri Pramod Savanji. I now like to invite Shri Pramod Savanji, Captain Venzi Vegas, and all our dignitaries on stage to proceed with our inaugural traditional lighting of the lamp. Kushi to assistant stage flanks, please. So, all our distinguished guests of honor, along with our chief guest, Shri Pramod Savanji.
या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा।
Thank you, esteemed dignitaries, guests of honor. Thank you to our esteemed chief guest, Shri Pramod Savanji. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to request our esteemed guest of honor, Captain Benzi Vegas, to go ahead and say a few words to all of us. Captain Benzi Vegas, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, our Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawant, and to all the dignitaries on dais and off the dais. FSM Future Skills Maritime. The word itself says that what do we need for the next 10 to 20 years and what do we need to prepare? Having this event in Goa itself is a big boost to the maritime industry because we in Goa, along with our Honorable Chief Minister, would want the maritime hub to get located in Goa. We would want investors to come down to Goa. Goa needs to be portrayed as the maritime destination of India, and our government here in Goa is going to be very friendly, and the ease of doing business, the ease of exercising the licenses, the permissions are all going to be executed under a single window system. And that is why I personally said to Captain Shaukat, let's start something in Goa. I am honored to be elected here in Goa, being an ex-maritime captain on board, being 17 years of experience, understanding this industry, and today being into legislation. Who else can do better for our industry? And saying that, yes, we are here today because of this relation, and we would want all of you maritime personnels who have various this kind of seminars for the industry, getting the industry ready for the futuristic approach, would want you all to come down to Goa, look at the various approaches that Goa has, how the government can contribute in a way to support each and every industry, each and every company out here. Come down, let us have institutions, let us have companies, let us enjoy working under the sun, with the sand and with the sea, which all Goa is all about. Thank you, everyone. Wish you all to have a pleasant stay in Goa, and let us all FSM for the next 1.5 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Benzi Vegas, for those wonderful words you shared with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the pleasure of introducing our ex-speaker, Goa Legislative Assembly, second-time MLA, Sankli constituency, ex-chairman of the GSIDC, Government of Goa, CCIM member, Government of India, Chairman Ravindra Bhavan Sankli, member of GBISM and H, ex-chairman of Golmachal Farmer Cooperative Society, a man of many hats, our dynamic leader and Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Shri Pramod Savanji. Welcome to FSM 2023. Sir, I kindly welcome you to share a few words with our audience.
Future Skills Maritime 2023. For this function, along with me, Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, the founder and CEO of the Naval Connections. Captain Venzi Vegas, MLA of the Banavali constituency, my friend. Mr. Saurav Dhave, the Professor Chancellor of the Ganpati University. Captain Sankalp Shukla, MD of the BSM India. Captain Tushar Pradhan, General Secretary of the MUI. Mr. Amitabh Kumar, the IRS Chief Commissioner Income Tax, former DGS. The distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and esteemed delegates from across the globe. I'm honored to be the part of this Future Skill Maritime 2023, a forum that shall address the need of the future in maritime industry. The world economy is largely dependent on this industry. And we in India, and specifically in Goa, have a huge growth potential in terms of tourism, cargo handling, and international trade. And this event is a golden opportunity for us to explore this potential and take this industry to new height. We all know that this event focuses on creating the sustainable future for a shipping industry. The FSM Global Conference must take deep dive into the current skills that are in the demand and analyze what skill will be needed in the future. Thus, the safety of the seafarers on the board ships and paramount, and it can be only achieved by having highly skilled workers and who can manage the important tasks safety. Good communication, teamwork, leadership, and language skills are also important. In future, it is crucial for the seafarers to be the professionals, ethical, responsible, and disciplined. India is experiencing the rapid growth in its port and related industry. Maritime is not just about the shipping. It is a part of a group of activity that create immense economic value. As the demand for the shipping increases, the global trade volume by sea are expected to be the triple by 2050. However, we must also aware of the environmental challenges it poses in the form of greenhouse gas emissions. We must take steps to overcome these challenges and ensure the sustainable growth. The Naval Connection, headed by the Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, in consultation with our esteemed colleague and only the Master Marine to be an MLA, Captain Benzi Viegas, has dedicated to host the FSM 2023 Global Conference in the beautiful state of Goa. As the head of the state government, I wholeheartedly welcome all the delegates to this location. We have the delegates from the different part of the country some international delegates, and we are confident that you are enjoying your stay in Goa. Goa is a perfect destination for such conference. We expect a very positive outcome of this conference, and we, the government, are committed to provide all the support that we can give for the growth of the maritime industry in Goa. We invite all the stakeholders in maritime industry to invest in Goa with the sustainable growth model that create the equal employment opportunities for our people. We aim to make this an annual event where we can invite the investors to Goa for the strategic partnership. Together, let us explore the new frontiers of the maritime industries and create the sustainable future that benefits all. As the India is hosting G20 summit, and from the G20 summit, they have given to host altogether 8 meetings in the state of Goa. So we are very much lucky that under the G20 summit, almost the 20 countries, the 80% of the trade of the world, 75% of the population, which this G20 country altogether collects. So definitely, I think the hosting of the G20 summit by India is a great opportunity, not only for the maritime industry, but for all the industry. So as we take this is a great opportunity for our nation, definitely we are marching ahead to be the one earth, one nation, one future, the Vasudev Kutumbakam. Definitely, we are marching ahead as a Vishwaguru, and we all people will help to make India as a Vishwaguru, and we will support the Modi ji to make India as a Vishwaguru. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister, sir, thank you so much for your kind words. And we are really grateful for you coming and gracing the occasion and inaugurating. Thank you, Captain Venzi Vegas, our friend of the industry, as well as we are proud of him and assisting us to usher the CM, sir. And like I said, before you came, I was saying that when people heard me doing the event in Goa, I have not walked out of any shipping officers without support and with their engagement, because it's Goa. So, ladies and gentlemen, since the CM is here, and I don't want only the Goans to applaud, let's all applaud and let's make this, and this is the promise, that we'll make this an annual event in Goa, and every time we'll come back bigger and larger and with more people. And now I would like to call upon we would like to distribute the mementos, please, as a token of our appreciation and honor. And I would like to, sir, 1 second. I would like to request Captain Vegas to present a token of memento to CM.
Captain Venzi Vegas to now present our appreciation token to our chief guest, our Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Shri Pramod Savanji. Let's hear a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There has been indeed a proud moment for FSM 2023. That's an honor from Ganpat University.
Can I ask Francisco also to come on stage for a photograph session, please, with the CM? Andrew Ward, people who have come from outside. Mohan Naik, sir. Yep. Halbe, sir. Also, I mean, I'm not choosing. I don't want to be looked at. I'm choosing, but yeah. And Manoj Gandhi and Ritu. Ritu, please, can I have you on stage, please? Oh, yes, we have our president of the Goan Seafarers Association also, Frank Vegas. Sorry. Secretary of GSCI also, Ani.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our dignitaries on stage, we will just wait for Captain Shaukat Mukherjee to escort our chief guest, and he will come back to honor all of our guests of honors on stage with us. And then we will continue to proceed with our speakers.
We will be proceeding in a short while from now. Our dignitaries on stage to kindly take their seats at the stage, sir. We would like to honor you as well. We're just waiting for Captain Mukherjee to come in back. Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, welcome back. Our dignitaries on the stage, please present them with a token of our appreciation.
Yeah, so I apologize for leaving the dais because to just see off the CM. And now we will continue with the distribution of the mementos. So Ritu, can I have you on stage to present one memento to Shri Amitav Kumar?
Ladies and gentlemen, as the mementos are being presented, let's hear a thunderous round of applause. We really want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here and sharing your time and space and effort and thoughts with us.
Can I ask Captain Dinesh Jairam to come here, present the memento to Tushar Pradhan, please? Can I ask Pravesh Diwan to please come and present the memento to Saurav Dave, sir?
Let's not forget that applause.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I ask Captain Halbe to come up here on stage, present the memento to Sankal Shukla? Captain Sankal Shukla. Is Captain Benzi Vegas around? He's outside. So, sir, if you can. So I hand over to Dilesh. Thank you for being part of the inaugural session. Now we'll continue with the conference as it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And thank you to all of our guests of honor for the inaugural session. We now move ahead to the second part of our agenda. And we would like to call upon a very distinguished guest amongst us today. I would like the audio to be played first.
Andrew has over 20 years maritime experience with the commercial, naval, and offshore sectors. For the past 10 years, he has been based in Singapore, and during this time, he has run an oil and gas service company, providing crewing and consultative services to many of the workboat operators in the APAC region. He also managed one of the most successful NI-accredited training centers in APAC, as well as commercially setting up the first NI-accredited center in China in collaboration with the Shanghai Maritime University. In recent years, he worked with the translator to become Wärtsilä Voyage, managing the entire business entities in APAC. He is now with Ocean Technologies Group, where his chief responsibilities are as the regional sales director to support the company's learning and assessments customers, as well as develop the company's fleet management and crewing software services within the Asia region.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Ward.
Hi, welcome. Thanks everybody for inviting me to the FSM. Ocean Technologies and various guys has been part of this, I believe, since the beginning. So, Shaukat, thank you and your team for a wonderful event. So it's not very often that I get to go on next after a chief minister. So it's great that I'm here, and it's fantastic. So a little bit about me, apart from that little spiel. Sounds like my father. I grew up on a small island in the North Sea called the UK. Quite well known for its maritime tradition, but I came from a small, well, not so much of a small city, but Birmingham City, which is exactly equidistance away from the sea of anywhere else in the UK. At the age of 15, 16, when the career people would come around to talk about what you want to do, at no point did I ever know there was a sea. Never did I know there was a career in shipping. So we talk about a requirement to get more people into the seafaring tradition. I think there are people there are people prepared to do it, but unfortunately, I don't think we're reaching them all the time. So there's other aspects which were touched upon earlier. The diversity issue is obviously a key thing that we need to address as a market. If you look at the diversity at the moment, I think only 2% of seafarers are women. And when you take into consideration that includes F&B within cruise industry as well, you'll see very quickly that that number is dramatically below 2%. So there's a lot we need to do there. A lot has been talked about mentoring of a lack of mentoring that's happening now on board. I don't believe that as such, but I think there is a movement away from there is a more diverse cultural personnel being on board vessels. Perhaps mentoring isn't happening as much as it possibly can. But I think that's an area that we really need to address and make sure that happens. And that can be done technically, and it can be done through soft skills. Before I go on, what I wanted to say a little bit about Ocean Technologies Group, I just wanted to frame who we are. We came out of a number of brands that you're probably aware of: Seagull, Videotel, MTS, Compass, which is a crew management system, and Terra Marine. So back in 2019, all the brands were brought together under a private equity company that is very much involved in learning. This was their first maritime learning evolution. So where are we today? Well, we have around 20,000 installations globally, which about 16,000 vessels globally are fitted with our training solutions. We have about 1.2 million seafarers that at any one point are actually training and actively involved in what we do. So there's that. And we also have around 6,000 vessels actually engaged on crew management systems. So a great deal going on there. So there is a diversity, there is a shortage of around 50,000 personnel on the cruise industry alone. And I think by 2026, that could go up to 1 million in the general scheme. So what do we need to do to encourage people to come on board? How do we approach personnel? How do we bring in the best people into our teams? Well, it starts in a number of ways. You can start by doing crew evaluations, capabilities, having a look at their skill sets, having a look at where they are. You can start doing personnel tests. You can start doing psychometric tests. A lot of these are rather big subjects, I know, but I think a lot of what we need to do as a seafaring body of personnel, there's ship managers and owners in here, there's training centers, but I think collectively we need to work together to make sure we give the skills to the people. What are the future maritime skills? IT whiz kids is going to be a big one, right? If you look at blockchain, people associate blockchain with cryptocurrency. It's a lot more than that. It's more associated in the documentation and the proofs that we can actually provide. So there's technology areas. I mentioned it earlier, cultural differences now on board ships. People have to be taught what the difference is between cultural diversity, what it means, how people interact with each other. It may mean one thing in one culture, but it certainly means something in a different one. So we need to be cognizant of the cultural aspects of that. Other areas as well. I mean, mental well-being is a massive thing at the moment. And if I know anything from family members, one thing people who are perhaps suffering are very good at hiding that they have problems. So all organizations, and I mean, I know a lot of ship owners who are doing a really good job of this, actually getting their senior management, not just on board the vessels and the senior officers, but also their senior managers to undertake training to identify where there are skills requirements, where they can identify where there may be problems. So that's a big area we need to look at. we're looking at technology going a little bit further, right? So historically, what you used to do on board vessels, you would have a look at the ranks of training, and you would look at specific requirements. You would give certain ranks, certain personnel training, and that would be throughout the whole organization. What we're trying to do and what we're doing now is moving into adaptive learning as an operation. So as an organization, we have 800, 900 titles. Also like Carco have a phenomenal content as well, but we are looking at it more holistic, not just about the content, but how we can actually deliver asynchronous personal journeys in learning. So, well, how do we do that? Well, we have a crew evaluation capability where we assess people's skills, we assess their soft skills as well as their technical skills. That then provides us a gap analysis. And within that gap analysis, we can actually then start identifying where the training is required. Now, the historical way, like I said, is put someone in front of a 60-minute video, let them run on it, and when they finish it, they click and they're. It may well be, if you can break that content down into micro learning, say 5-minute segments, you can map an individual's capability and actually reduce training. Because the one thing I hear a lot is there's too much training on board the vessels, there's too much requirements on the the masters, the chief engineers, and all the crew. So it's vital that we reduce the training down. We're trying to get to a point where it's quality over quantity. It's an ongoing journey, as you can imagine, with over almost 900 titles. Breaking that down into micro learning takes a while, but we're getting there. So what does this also mean for organizations, right, that do a really good job in training? We did some analysis over the last 3 years prior to COVID, and we looked at those operators, those vessels that had our training services on board, had the systems, and we identified about a 40% reduction in port state deficiencies by having a very thorough training capability with their crew. So it's not just about the individuals, right? You can drive efficiencies through organizations, you can drive costs. There is a cost savings by having less port state deficiencies. Some of those are dramatic. So if we look also on the crewing side, a few scenarios that I've seen in the market, and this is cognizant to all operators. There are now owners out there who are identifying new builds and equipment to put on new builds based on the competencies of the crew that they have within their pool, not just today, but in the future. Obviously, we know methanol fuel is coming on board. We know there's potentially for nuclear further down the line, and all the other things. There's a real demand now for owners coming to operators, technology companies like us, to say, okay, can you tell me future planning? Can my crew actually fulfill the requirements of this planned maintenance, this preventative maintenance? Can we analyze their individual capabilities against certain equipment? Can we analyze their ability to find faults and fact find quickly and do all these sort of assessments? So that's one scenario where owners are actually saying, going to manufacturers and saying, look, your equipment will not be on board our new builds unless you can provide us a full training package and solution to make sure that it's available. Now, a lot of this content is available. So what I would say to anyone in the room and anyone online, as manufacturers, please work with the training institutes, please work with the training vendor providers to make your content available. Because if your content is available, then the skill sets of the individuals will improve, the safety of those vessels will improve. It's, you know, we're all in this together. We need to work together on this. I mean, we work, and likewise with any technology company, any learning LMS company, we work with all the individual government bodies within Tatanco, IMEX, Swire. Swire is an interesting one recently with the right ship inspections, where we're seeing a lot more of the bulk carriers being brought into the training market. So there's a lot of expectations of bulk carriers to actually start looking at the human element. ESG obviously has paid a lot, now has the human element paid in attention to that. So we're seeing a lot of requirements from owners and operators to utilize services to identify that gap analysis. So that's a little bit about who we are and what we do and where we're driving towards. Fundamentally, cadets are key to this. And I was in Crew Connect in Manila back in November last year. And what was clear is not enough cadets are getting on board vessels. Not enough cadets have been given the sea time to actually to ascertain their skills. So I'd encourage more cadets to be on board the vessels at the earliest possibility. I think we can get to that. I think diversity we can do something about, but it starts with us as in the room and online. We all have a family, we all have sons, we all have daughters. Encourage them. It's a fantastic opportunity to be in this market. I never sailed, but I've been on plenty of vessels and I've enjoyed my time completely during that. So really, I mean, that's me summing up as to who we are and what we do. I think the critical thing I would like to end with is you as training centers, as vessel operators, it makes so much sense to make sure that you have thorough systems in place, that you give individuals a roadmap of how they can do well, how they can get promoted. We really encourage people to take the aspect of competency management systems. If you give someone a timeline, you give them the vision and they can see the end goal, they're more likely to be engaged with you as an organization and the training. So competency management systems, get people engaged, make promotion visible as to how this happens, and I think we'll all grow together. So get cadets on board the vessels, get the competency management systems flowing through the organizations, and the manufacturers will provide the content. The manufacturers have the content. I've never known a manufacturer not provide the technology, and eventually they want to get equipment on board ships. And if they want to get equipment on board ships, they will play games. So I think there needs to be a lot more engagement with the manufacturers, with the training centers, not just providing simulators, but actually engaging as to why these simulators work and how they can benefit. So there is a lot going on behind the scenes, I know, with a lot of the institutes. So all I'd like to say is to everybody in the room, thank you for the time. I'm really looking forward to the next day or so to hear what you got to say, and let's all work together, right? I mean, because we're in this together. So thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are open to questions. So if you do have any questions, I think there was a person who had a question. Yes, I can see. Yes, sir. Yeah. We'll just hand over mic to you. Yes,
Hi, Andrew. You spoke about mental wellness.
please.
Yes.
So what do you think? Is ease of communication a devil or an angel for mental wellness?
Do you mean too much communication can be a bad thing? I think you're absolutely, I'll sit on the fence and say you're right on both accounts. No, it's funny. I mean, family members who struggled as well, right? And I think actually the engagement is important. Now, what the outcome of that engagement is for that individual and all the members or the organization or family members, it will be what it will be. But I think you have to communicate. I think everyone in an organization has to accept we're all infallible. We're all different. We all strive for different things. We're strong at some things and not so good at other things. So it needs to be, and it needs to be on everyone's agenda. I think, you know, what you don't know, right?
Isn't today's seafarer very fragile? Like the olden times, the seafarers were very strong.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it's absolutely the opposite, actually. I think they're very much roll their sleeves up and get on and do a good job, right? And that's what we see. I mean, I was in Crew Connect back in November last year and spent a lot of time with the cadets in Manila, and they were incredible. They were 15, 16 years old, standing there with CEOs and managing directors going, what about this? What about, no, that's not right. I want this. I want this. The training should do this. They're not, they're pretty strong individuals, but we need to keep them strong, right? We have to give them the skills. We have to give them the time up. We have to make sure that they feel welcome when they're on board all the vessels. I think it comes down to culture. I think the one line I always like is, you know, your culture is how people feel in their stomachs and minds on a Sunday night before they go to work. And I think that's really critical, that if you can look at yourself and go that those crew are walking on board that vessel, feeling confident, feeling valued, then you've done a good job, right?
Okay, thank you.
Will there be any more questions for Andrew? Oh, well, that's the, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Andrew, if you would like to we would like to present you with a memento of gratitude. Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, please.
But I just want to tell you, OTG has also been one of the companies who's been a part of this Future Skills Maritime right from the beginning. Ral is a very close friend of mine, and every time I go back to Ral and say, very interesting. And this, he was jumping when he found out that this was in Goa. Unfortunately, couldn't attend in person. OTG is one of the finest, one of the largest. I can't say training service providers now. You're like you're like an Amazon of training. See, they own.
We like to say Microsoft 360.
Yeah. So they own Videotel, Marlin, Seagull. They also own a company called Coex. And we had the participation of Coex last time. So a big round of applause. They are golden sponsors this time for Future Skills Maritime. And I would like to present myself a token of appreciation from the Naval Connection Future Skills to you, Andrew.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause for Mr. Andrew Ward. I would also like to call upon Captain Shaukat Mukherjee to token of appreciation to Captain Vince.
Sir, present a token of appreciation to Wenzi, Captain Wenzi Vigas.
To stalwarts on the days, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause for them. Thank you. Thank you, Sri Amitabhji. Thank you, Captain Vegas. All right, and now we move on to one of actually a much awaited section. I'd like to call upon, as I call upon, of course, the dignitaries, I would like to have Kushi and Captain Mukherjee to escort them to the dais. We do have Mr. Saurabh Dave, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Ganpat University, to kindly be with us on stage. Professor Giriraj Tejra, the Dean of Maritime Studies, Ganpat University. Okay, I think that he's not come as well. And Professor Jitendra Singh Rawat to kindly join us on stage. Thank you, sir. Over to Captain Mukherjee.
Can I also call Captain Sriprakash? Sriprakash, sir, can you come up here on stage? Sriprakash, sir, is not, is somebody, everybody knows. Oh, so it's a surprise to me as well. So Miss Niti Pujara. So Pujari, yeah, she's a student in Ganpat. Please, can I have you here on stage as well? So this was my idea to Jitendra ji, that please sit. And Andrew, I take this from you, and you just now mentioned that, people were standing and with CEOs and MDs, and so I said, why should students not be a part of this on the stage with people who actually make it happen for seafarers? With everything that we do in the industry is for the seafarers. So it's very important that we know the views of the seafaring community. We are talking about Ganpat today, and we are talking about, this is a presentation where you can ask questions and what their commitment is towards learning and development. And here it is very important to have the end user on stage, right? So we thought having a cadet and a trainee and a person who's in the program talk about how being, in the program is. Can I have a small video, please, Ganpat? So, how many of you have visited Ganpat University? Deepak sir is Sports campus. It's a training also. We have another one. Very good. So from this video, it doesn't look, it's a maritime college. It looks like a sports college. But sports is a very huge part of maritime anyway. So Sagar, are you playing this? Just a moment. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, today in the next 10 minutes, we'll have Saurabh Dave sir and also the think tank of Ganpat University. I'm going to ask them a few questions on their policies about training and what they are doing different to what the other people are doing in the industry also. So, right. So, Sagar? Okay, it's downloading. So can I have you back on stage and we start the discussion when it downloads? Okay. So my first question to Saurabh Dave sir. A little bit on the evolution of Ganpat. A lot of people might not have visited Ganpat. A little bit about the history of Ganpat, how you came into maritime. Very short. Hello.
Hello. So we as an institute, we were in the existence is 1996. Then we got a private 2005. During the university's establishment, our that time Honorable Chief Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi has visited us and bestowed one of our convocation. And he gave us a vision that Gujarat being one of the largest coastal line, why not we have a maritime study facility available in Gujarat? So our president, Honorable President Ganpat Bhai Patel, lovingly we call him Dada. He said, sir, we are a landlocked. If we start here, there is always a challenge of having an access to the coastal. So Modi साहब ने हंसते हंसते बोल दिया, दादा आपका दिल तो दरिया है ना, कर देंगे.
I have
This
taken
is
that
how
line. I've taken that line from you, Dil Darya. That become my logo.
So then that becomes an inception point for us to look into the nation's requirement for having a world-class facility of maritime study and a committed academic institute which can impart a quality education which industry require. We started slowly and gradually. We established, we got a DG Shipping's approval, and we started offering a program with an intake of 40. That's our first BTech in maritime program. And then eventually we started up building up the other programs into it. And now we could proudly say that whatever the skill is required by the industry, we have all the programs offered with a high-end instructor training programs, the equal industry representation with us. We have an infrastructure, we'll see into our aerial view. We have a full ship in campus. So that's
Shipping
our
campus
vision.
was a requirement for a long time, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, I want to, sorry, I'm interrupting you here. I can't wait to ask her question.
Yeah.
So I want to go to Pujari and I want to ask her, see,
Yeah.
Pehle to, I'm very happy to have you on stage, right? Not many times that we have a girl TME or a cadet on stage. So welcome to the stage and welcome to Future Skills Maritime. Aapko kaisa lag raha hai? How do you feel sitting with everybody else, and what do you feel about Ganpat?
It is my honor that I'm here. I just got a call in the morning.
Yep.
You have to come here, so I booked the flight and I came here. And
She just
Ganpat,
flew from Bombay. Just to have an interaction with all of them. So I asked them at 11 o'clock.
Can I have one more mic, please?
I asked her 11 o'clock that how will you able to come? How will you do the packing? She said, we
Hello.
are seafarers, sir. Our bags are always ready.
So now that you've signed on, yeah, please.
And before Ms. Pujari start, this is our answer to the Andrew and the other fellow colleagues here. We are committed to increase the women's presence in maritime studies. We have started with one marine cadet from Gujarat, and now we have 17 cadets already studying BTech in maritime, and it's increasing.
Tell me about your experiences, please. Yeah.
so to be honest, we all know that there is 2% workforce at sea, women person, and I'm damn sure there'll be a hike in this percentage soon. And when I joined Ganpat University, there were just 8 girl cadets. And I'm proudly to say, as he said, there are 17 girl cadets now. And our aim is to have 50% boys and 50% girls in our university.
Why not 100% girls?
Of course, we will have them. Okay. One is my uncle. He was in Merchant Navy and he used to get me chocolates. So, of course, going abroad, getting chocolates and all that stuff. So, that was one kind of inspiration as a child. And second one was in 10th standard, in my 10th grade, I was in annual function as a naval officer. I got dressed up and all that get up and all. And my school people knew that I was acting. But as I went outside of the school, everybody was like, "Arey, dekho usko. Oh, look at her. At this young age, she's an officer. Learn something." So that was like, okay, this uniform has respect and all that dignity. I wanted to choose this career. I know it has some hardships and all, but I can do it.
Fantastic. So coming back to Jitendra sir, how do you have specific recruitment policies for girl cadets, or is it all the same?
Yeah, it's basically as per DG shipping requirement, it's has to be same for both. But for girls, what we are doing, we are promoting, just like now we had a seminar in mid of January, where we invited almost 600 girls students from 11th and 12th, all across the cities of Ahmedabad, Mehsana, Surat, Gandhinagar, all the schools. We have visited more than 100 schools because our aim was to invite more than 1,000 girls. But you will be surprised, the PCM requirement by DG shipping is the girls, boys and girls who are coming, they should have PCM. So PCM, when we go to visit the schools, only 4 girls, 5 girls from one school. So we are committed
Did you just say that girls don't want to take PCM?
Usually they go for bio. Usually what I saw, they go for like 40, 45 students for bio and 4, 5 for PCM. So it was very difficult. And we managed to invite almost 400, 500 girls, more than that. And we had the viewership of more than 2,000 students all across the India, and multiple social media footprints that we had. And for boys also, we are committed. That's why you asked why 50%, why not 100? Because we want gender diversity, not biasing. We want gender diversity in the true sense. So for now, we have to support the girls because of the past we had the men oriented stream. But after a certain level, we don't have to do that.
I just wanted to say, because we had gone to the Sainik schools also, where now the 100 Sainik schools have been opened in the past 1 year, and it has been started as a co-ed school, sir. Only in the Sainik school, only the boys were studying before, and now the Sainik school have the girls also from 2020 onwards. So we had gone there also to find out if they can participate in that. We have got the good results. It will depend upon the next admission, but the girls are now coming to our forte and they'll be coming. And I can tell you with all certainties and with all confidence, sir, this decade will be through the girls only. And we are training them as the mental wellness, what Andrew was talking about it, the mental wellness are far, far greater. They can do any job very perfectly. They require the skills. They do PT, they go to the welding machine, they go to the ship, they go to the bridge, they go for ship visit. They are doing exactly the same way as our boys are doing. In fact, much better than that, sir. So we are proud to have them.
So
sir.
Pujari, I want to come back to you. And I mean, no, there's a challenge of being in a man's industry and where everything is not according to what a girl might want. Is there any particular challenge that you, on a general tone, not any particular personal challenges, but any on a general tone, is there any challenges that you think women face in the industry and especially in the training centers right now?
Actually, right now we are facing few challenges. Previously there were a lot of challenges, but now I guess everybody is, open-minded. And the thing is communication. Yes, that is the main thing. We cannot communicate easily. Like if there is a man on board or even in my class, if I am having a problem, personal problem or anything, I couldn't share it with him.
Why can't you
openly.
share it with them?
Because it is there's always this thing that it is not always possible. Something about privacy and what others might think. So that is the only problem right now we are facing, according to me.
So, sir, I would want to come back to Amitabh sir on this because I know humongous kind of work that GE Shipping has done on women in maritime during his time. Is there? I remember Joshi madam once said that we in shipping operation they always send 2 girls, not 1 girl. So, is there any rule like that, or is it just industry practice? Can I have one microphone on DG sir, please, Amitabh sir? Is there any kind of convention, any rule, or is it just an industry practice?
No, I think it is largely industry practice. It is also a matter of convenience, maybe accommodation, bathroom, or things like that. It would be easier for them if they have 2. But as an industry, I don't think we should be restrictive. If one girl is also working, then we should not, take that job away.
Yeah.
Because the second girl is not available. Over a period of time, of course, industry will require the specific requirements of having women on board. And the issues that are now there are not insurmountable. These are small issues that need to be resolved as and when we get more women on board. Those who are pioneers, they will feel some problems, teething troubles of working in a man's world. But as we see the numbers grow, all these issues will automatically get resolved.
Fantastic.
That's correct, sir, because I want to add, when last year she had joined, she had some problem as the number of girls started increasing and the boys also getting adapted to this. And this year, when one of 2023 came out of gender things, and we are practicing that, the matter is getting resolved. It is not a big issue. It is only to matter of adapting and acquiring and changing our perception that we can work. In fact, last year, 4 girls candidates passed out from our institute. 2 are working on one ship and 1 is working with the Philippine girls on other ship. And they have been sending, and they are in touch with our placement at Mr. Rawat. There is nothing they can do. They are doing far better than anything. Boys are also doing better, but girls are doing far better. I must admit.
I think the world is going to a space where we will be on stage asking for diversity and inclusion on our behalf. Like we'll be really fighting for it. We have a diversity debate in.
No. That is, the world is changing and we have to change our.
World is not changing. World has changed, I think. Already.
World has already changed. There is nothing where the girls are not there. In the Navy, Army, Air Force, everywhere there. Why not much?
So, Dave sir, I want to come back to you with a specific question. We've been talking about. Yeah, so girls in the industry, not only about diversity, what I want to ask you and to everybody else, if you can think about this, we are on future skills right now in an event. And as a training institution, you have set guidelines. मुझे ये पढ़ाना है, या तो there is some guidelines from the DG, from the institutions, from regulations. But the future skills, the technology, so do you map the technologies that is happening on board as we speak? How do you incorporate those technology in your training? Because you already have a set syllabus. Sir, I've been wondering about this because we have a set syllabus. And I was speaking to, 3 years back, I was speaking to IMS Goa. My book was in their syllabus. And I was, liaising with them to how to incorporate certain leadership workshops in there. And I was told that's a time in, because we don't have time, because the rigorous, the syllabus was so rigorous that there was no breathing time. But if you have any future skills and if you want to introduce any new courses, how do you plan to do that? Are you mapping the industry for new technology?
So, Shaukaji, just to answer your question, Ganpat University is known for its unique model, which is industry within the university and university within the industry. So we have already a couple of center of excellencies of different industries housed within the university. And similarly, for certain industry problem where the industry cannot move to us, we as a micro university move to them and try to solve their problem, try to impart those skills among the industry's requirement. So similarly, for maritime studies, we have started incorporating minor courses, which is like autonomous vehicle, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, inclusion of technology, equipping the seafarers with the latest and greatest technologies, laws, the disaster management skills. So those advancement we are already doing in our curriculum. Life skilling also we are doing it. We are also today fortunate that we have among us Captain Prashant Pillai. Captain, whenever he come offshore, he has a time to spend with the family. Rather spending a time with the family, he being a responsible, committed maritime persona, he come forward always and help our students with the latest and greatest requirement of the industry. He help us trying to bridge the gap, what exactly the academia should improve to meet with the industry standards. So that's the efforts we could do it, and we are able to do it. We are open every 6 months. We revise our minor content of the syllabus, and that goes into the board of studies. Even if required, we can adopt a special audit courses, which is highly specialized. While I was talking to Andrew, we said we are too much of accommodative, that if you have any specific skill set required, we can immediately introduce into the short term or an elective courses or an audit courses. So that's the openness, that's the kind of a broader vision we brought into academia. And I think that's the reason we found that our cadets are best fitted into the industry requirement. And if we look at the kind of a skill set industries looking forward, they have to spend a training before they're on board. Our cadets, we get a feedback that they are the most billable resources in terms of ready to work in the industry. That's the credit.
Thank you. I will not take much time here. And again, we've got a chill break after this. So, and I would want to throw this to the audience, sir. I want them to ask you questions. So is there any questions which you can pose to the people on stage regarding Ganpat, regarding their training, regarding your visits? Probably he's invited me. I'm going to.
Shaukaji, we would like to call upon Captain Prashant Pillai on the stage.
Please.
He being our longest standing mentor of the institute. Since a decade, he is helping. And we are requesting other fellow colleagues to also come forward and help us bridging this gap. That's the only best way we can quickly produce the best possible skills required by to make the industry much better.
So Captain is a marine pilot. He works offshore, and then he's a visiting faculty in Ganpat. So any questions for them? Yes, Captain Prabhat Nigam.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Prabhat Nigam, and I represent Chitkara University. The question I put before you is, as Shaukat just now said, that there is a very rigorous curriculum which we have to follow, which is given by DG Shipping. It is in terms of the TEEP manual which we follow. In that, every semester is of around 17 weeks, 561 hours. When you say that you add these value-added courses in the curriculum, how do you manage that? Do you dilute these 561 hours, or you go beyond the 5.5 days per week? How do you manage those VSE?
We go beyond 5.5 days.
Okay, so
We go beyond 5.5 days. And as we have 17 weeks are required for DG shipping, as per TAP manual, we require 17 weeks, but we have a semester of more than 22 weeks. So we use all those coming weeks and remaining hours into the value addition.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you. We can take this in the offline during the.
Just to add on
chat
here,
break.
we have also built up a few of the platforms wherein there is a facility of ease of doing, right? So since they are being on the campus full time, they can have their ease of learning approaches, adopting those tools and technology, and they can learn at their own, wherein there can be a one-to-one and one-to-many group sessions are getting organized. And since the pandemic, it has went beyond the horizons and beyond the limitations. So we should all look forward and start proposing kind of an approaches which is best fitted into the industry standard. One is a standard honorary defined, but on the other way, there is a requirement. So we should put the students into the center and try to offer them as much as their potential is to grasp. They have a limitless potential, I tell you. If we handhold properly, they can go beyond the limitations.
Thank you. So we will take longer questions, maybe explanation we can take over chai. Any other specific questions to the Ganpati University think tank? Yes, sir. Dinesh Jairam. Yeah, can I have a mic in the audience, please?
Yes.
Microphone.
Sir.
Thanks. So it's not a question, actually. I wanted to share something about Ganpati University because I visited about 2 months back. And I was privileged to meet Ganpat Dada. And during the symposium, what Professor Jitendra mentioned, his message to all the guys there was for the girls to get out of the way. So when he was asked, what is your message to the men or the boys at sea? His message was to telling each one of them to get out of the way, let the women come and take over.
So I said 100% hogai. Matlab, it is just a matter of time. If you are telling guys to get out of the way, then there'll only be girls, no?
We are getting GP rating girls. Every batch, we are getting 3 to 4 girls from GP rating. Now,
Thank you.
next batch also already 3 girls are registered. Next January batch.
I see only the ladies
5
are
girls
clapping here.
registered.
Okay, now we've got.
It is to woman power.
Okay, so yeah, so questions, please. We'll take 2 more questions and then, yeah, please. Just introduce yourself for the audience, larger audience, and then.
I'm Devesh Gautam from Thome India, Delhi office. So when we started our career, so we wanted to become like from cadet to chief engineer or captain, but now the retention rate is very less. So are you monitoring that for your cadets and all coming into the industry?
Yes, sir, definitely. Apart from the general, we know there are more than 100 institutes all across the India. But apart from the course curriculum, we are imparting them the value system, the holistic value system. We are imparting them and we are training them to become a good human being first. And with the right attitude, whenever I take my first class, I used to say to all the students that a person's reliability and credibility is more important than the skillability. Skills, learning is a lifelong process. Skills they can learn, they can update their skill level any time. But if a person is reliable, which I believe, I never changed company for $100 or $200. So this is what I am imparting. We are imparting to the students also, that you retain to the shipping company at least become the chief engineer there. Those who are giving you the placement now.
But you see the trend, what is, it's not because $100, $200, they are quitting the sea life. They come maybe just as a fourth engineer, third engineer, second officer.
We are monitoring the feedback from all our cadets. We are keeping a tab on them, sir, and we are closely monitoring them, sir. They have not yet become
That's
the
a good,
chief
but
engineer,
something for
so
us.
we are keeping them, sir.
Moving
But
ashore also something to add. Because
but they have not, nobody has left the sea carrier so far.
And recently with the, we had a meeting with the DP World, very good. They also showed the same concern. So we showed, this is what sometimes industry has to tell us what to do, and have to tell industry why students are shifting, why seafarers are shifting. So one of the reasons which we mentioned is whenever they need the vessel, they get the waiting time for that vessel. So revised salary, which industry is already increasing the salaries and the reducing the waiting time. And now we have come up with the one training as per DG shipping. We need a 6 months. We have requested them that if that 6 months we can do on vessel. So at the younger age, they will be associated with the company. They feel the part of the company. So if they feel the part of the company, then the changing of that company is a bit less.
Right. So Jitendra ji, I'll stop you here and then we can continue our chill break because we are running 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So, hello, I lost my audio here, please. Yeah. So what we do is we break for tea now and we come back and we'll continue the session. Don't go away after the break because we have a huge gala cocktail dinner and we've got lots and lots of surprises. Remember, always we are happening. This is not happening in Mumbai. This is happening in Goa. So I've got to remind this, so just that you don't forget. So we have something. Please come back. But before we just want to call upon Arun Mehta, Captain Arun Mehta, to distribute the mementos, please. Yeah, the mementos. Hello. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a huge round of applause for Ganpat University think tank. And as Mr. Arun Mehta will give away the token of appreciation. Thank you. The only lady on the dais. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ganpat University think tank. We will now break for a short, as we like to call it, chai break, and we can come back in 15 minutes.
So before we get off stage, we would like to convey our heartiest gratitude to Sub. When we were a small baby crawling, he has helped us growing better and faster. Thank you, sir, for initially hand-holding us and continuing mentoring us. We would also like to thank our mentor, Prashant Pillai, for continuous support and mentoring. Our cadet, Ms. Pujara, for coming forward and sharing how we are changing the world through the education. And last but not least, all the associate here for putting in trust and hand-holding us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Together, really, we can build up a strong maritime society. Thank you.